Right, so in my last video I showed you how to install Steam using Hollow iOS, which is like a third-party tool to do it. What we're going to do in this, it's like Nirvana, the Holy Grail, we're going to install the native Steam Deck installer directly to a PC, well it's a Mac 5.1. So you go to Steam website and go in there, have a look for the installer and then download it. So Steam Deck OS installer, download it, then use Rufus if you're on a PC, or if you're on a Mac, you need to use Ballen Etcher, I think. That'll come up in a second. There it is, Ballen Etcher, to flash the downloaded image to a USB stick to make it bootable. So once you've got that, then you're pretty much ready to go. Okay, so USB in, boot to the USB, but there are some prerequisites that I put on the screen here for you. You need to have an AMD graphics card that has RDNA architecture, so you can't have the earlier ones. I think it's GCN, which is the Polaris cards. You can't have NVIDIA and you can't have Intel. You need to put all the other hard drives on the machine apart from the one that you want to install Steam onto. You need to wipe that drive and just do GPT partition, but leave the rest of it unallocated. Don't put a partition on there. And you need wired internet. Well, you do on a Mac 5.1 anyway. It won't pick up the card that's in there. If you're on another PC, it may pick up the hardware that's in there. In the background there, you can see that that's Steam loading. That's what you'll see. It'll fly across like left to right on the top of the screen as it sort of comes in. Now, I've done this video in nearly like real time because it's a good 30-minute install. But when I see people do this, there's these huge black gaps and they think the machine's just not working. It is sometimes, depending if you've got the right hardware on the machine, but it looks like it's hung. So I've left the big black gaps in, and unfortunately for you, I've just put elevator music over it. So you just watch through or not, just skip ahead and until you see me speak here, can hear me speak again. Anyway, yeah, what you're seeing is Steam loading going in. Now, in a minute, it should boot up, and what it'll first boot to, it'll boot into sort of the Unix desktop, which is Arch. And we've got a little bit of work in there to do, or not, depending on how your machine's configured to get this to run properly. So yeah, here we are, we're in Steam. So Steam's booting, and give it a second. It is quite slow, this process. It will come, it'll get there, but it's very slow. Okay, so when Steam eventually boots up, here it is. We're into the desktop. The thing we've got to do is find out the name of our drive. Now, if you're installing it to an NVMe, you don't need to do this bit. If you're installing it to an SSD or a hard drive, you need to go into the partition manager, which is KDA partition manager, and find the name of the drive. Now, this will be SDA, as it's the first drive. That one there, and you'll see it, and you need to remember that, SDA. So that's the name of your drive you're going to install to. Then you go into the home folder, and in the home folder there's a folder called tools. Open that, and then there's a file in there, yeah, and it's called repair device. Open it with a thing called Kate, and in there you'll find 3 lines of code, and it'll basically, you put your drive in, and I put it on the screen, so it'll be disk equals /dev SDA. Then underneath it says P. Now P is for NVMe partition. You don't need that, so delete the P, and then you save the file. Okay, and that's all you need to do. And then you go up and you have to click re-image Steam, and this will start the installation process. And this takes a long time, so I'm afraid it's time for some elevator music. Okay, so once the process completes, click proceed and the whole thing will reboot. And this bit again takes ages. So okay, so we're into the welcome screen. Usual installation bit now, so you select English or whatever language you choose. And then it'll ask you for your time zone. So I'm UK, so GMT. When I get there, GMT, yep. And then I'm on a wired connection. See, there's no, basically there's no Wi-Fi detected on a Mac 5.1. And we're into the install process again. So time for more elevator music, certainly. Okay, so it's coming to the end and you get an error. Now all you need to do is dismiss this error, and then you go down to the start menu, power, restart. Steam will shut down and then reboot again, and we've got a bit more elevated music. Okay, and there it is. There's your login. So log in as usual into Steam. It'll load up your user data, and should be, oh, it's detected my son's machine on the network, and you should be into Steam. Well, the introductory part of the Steam. Here we go. Welcome to Steam Deck. So it's up and running. Have a click around to get rid of that, and then you're into your library. There you go. So let's have a quick look around. Click the menu in the bottom. Now, obviously, as I showed in my whole ISO video, you can attach a PlayStation controller, whatever you like, to this. If this is full-blown Steam now, this isn't the hollow iOS ISO. Go into your settings, system updates, everything. Go down, and as you can see, everything's there as usual. And there's the graphics card, AMD Radeon RX 550. Now this is only the 4 gig one I've got in here at the moment, so it's cheap. But obviously any card up of that spec you can use. So I thought we'd do Tomb Raider. I've installed Tomb Raider. Just going to run through its benchmarky thing, just so you can see it playing. Obviously it's a 4 gig card, so it's going to be, I mean, Steam's really good at 1080p, especially on a 5.1, an old 5.1. But I mean, obviously you've got a much more powerful computer, and you can get this on there. You can change the size of this maximum allowable gameplay in the Steam controllers, in the Steam menu. So this would download a bit of content. I think there's the Vulkan shaders thing coming in a minute, which I shall skip. Yep. Oh, there's launcher. There we go. Okay. Vulkan shader tools. I should skip that because that's tedium. Skip. And then we should be into the game. So I think it's just because it's the 4 gig card, it's going to be lower than the 8 gig on the textures. So I think there's a setting in here. Anyway, skip through all this stuff. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And play. And it should come up in a second. Here we are. Unfortunately, I don't have Cyberpunk on Steam. I've already got that and got a game, so I can't really test that. I've been looking at good games you can benchmark on the old Mac 5.1 to see how they play in the Steam environment. But it's a very interesting thing. I'm absolutely positive I'm going to test this, that Tomb Raider works way better in Steam on this machine than it does when it's in Windows. Yeah, so it's 1080p and it's in high. So yeah, let's see what that'll do. So let's run the benchmark and see what we get at the other end of it. So you can sit through this and watch it if you wish, but I'll come back at the end. So there you go, that's the benchmark finishing up. And let's just see what it's come up with. It should be about, it's quite stable, strangely. There it is, 59 frames per second. So that's pretty good. That's like nearly 60, one off. Anyway, so there you go. That's how you get Steam onto a Steam Deck image onto a PC. Now, obviously, it's all about AMD hardware, this. But yeah, there you go. Have a ball. Recommission some old machines. And thanks for bearing with it and watching it.